Hello again, it's me, I'm back, and yeah, let's just start off by apologising, shall we? It's been about a year now. As you can probably tell, we've had a few changes, so I'll start with that in this video, because I just want to sort of reintroduce you. I know we've had about 5 videos since I actually introduced you, but let's do it again. So, before, you might remember, I don't, but you might, we had the boards in a very similar sort of way. Yeah, still lovely and gloomy down that end. We had the boards in a very similar way to how they are now. But most unfortunately, we are in the loft, and the roof, as you can see, is perhaps not the best place, the best protection a model railway can have. And when it rained and snowed and hailed and whatever else it did, we're in Salford, you know, I think Norway's got better weather than us. Sorry if you're Norwegian. When it did all that, the water sort of just came straight through the roof and drenched everything. So you can see, actually on this one, because this board's still the same, that's sort of one of the nice looking areas. These boards along the edges were absolutely wrecked, and we sort of had mountainous terrain because the board had warped so much that it was sort of it was wavy basically. It looked like it was water. It was like brown water. It was horrific, and the track was like that. So, you know, trains weren't doing a particularly good job of getting across it. So we had to rip it all up and relay it, as you can tell. So we used slightly different board this time. It's like recycled stuff compared to the older, smoother stuff, which was absolutely useless. We've kept the 2 end boards the same, so that one and that one. But these ones have been replaced. So there's pros and cons, but obviously the cons were I had to wait about 6 months before I could actually do anything with the collection that we've got. Pros are we've actually expanded slightly in terms of size, so we've got a bit more room, not an awful lot more room. And as a result, obviously, the Instagram account, the YouTube account, everything was all a bit postponed. So again, apologies for that, but we're back now. So the plan in the short term is basically to carry on introducing you to the stock, which I was in the middle of doing when disaster struck, and it looked like some sort of fault line had opened up beneath Salfordyorkstreet. And today the plan is quite simply just to introduce you to the new Salfordyorkstreet as has been rebuilt by Network Rail, and tell you the future plans. So we'll start at this end, I think, because you know we always start at this end. Pretty much the only end that's lit well enough for you to see. So we've got down here, we've got the start of some sort of scenery. I don't know if you can see that there, but clearly the fault line has not quite closed fully. That needs to be sorted. It's all just a bit of a temporary thing. But we've got our restaurant here. I'll buy some ballast and just lay down that path again. Gonna get some Metcalf picnic tables, hopefully, to go in the back there. We've got a nice tree. Car park, including a lovely little car. I think this is new. I don't think you'll have seen this yet. But yeah, found this at a model railway show in Wigan. Very nice. Salford. Love a bit of Salford. We've then got the good old sheep. Everyone loves the sheep. It wouldn't be the same if there weren't any sheep. And some of them are just currently investigating the appearance of a strange blue box in their field. I wonder who that could be. Then we move on, and here we will, I don't think you can quite say we got it yet, but we will have a sort of the end of a street just to fill in this corner So you got the yards down the back there, and we've got some yards on that side. That bin is there for no apparent reason. And we've got the little street here. Again, another new vehicle. I'll show you this one because I like this one. You know, the Royal Mail Post Bus. Wanted this for a little while. Very nice little vehicle there. Beautiful. On this side, as you can see at the moment, it's more just a storage area for gubbins. But we will have. I don't know what's going here yet. This will probably just be sort of grass, basically. This line here will lead around there into the fiddle yard, which I'll come to shortly. But in the meantime, I'm going to have a little house, well, 2 houses there, semi-detached. Very nice. Nice smart cars as well, Jaguar and Range Rover. I like the colour of the Range Rover, that's quite nice. And that's going to lead back into a sort of apple orchard. I don't know. You can see just in there, got a agricultural Morris Minor or Morris Traveller pickup truck there. I think it's a Pocket Bond Classic. It's very nice. I'm always a bit of a collector of Morris Travellers. Got another little green one there. Yep, I'll never turn down a Morris Traveller or similar. And then here, got a little shop. We got Mr. Tato just delivering to the little shop. We're going to have the road, as you can see there, the basic shape, just going around there. And a little bit of a car park area. So it's all very basic at the moment. See where the road and the asphalt used to be there, where all that white stuff is, that's just the bottom of the paper. So it's all very basic, but we'll get there eventually, hopefully. Then we come into the industrial corner again. We had this last time, of course, with all the Network rail vans, British rail vans as well. And then down this side, where we start to get a bit darker, I will get another light put in eventually, I do promise. To myself as much as to you. This is going to be the goods yard. You can see there, that's going to be one siding, and then they're going to come out there, just above my finger, and go all the way down there to where the goods shed lies in the dead of night. On this one, I should probably have explained this earlier actually. So we've got 3 full loops now for the first time, going all the way around. And we've got these 2 are DCC, although this one is interchangeable, and the inner one here is DC. That one's, the outer one's 4th radius, 3rd radius, 2nd radius, so we've got rid of that 1st radius rubbish. And you can see here on the DC line that we already have R2, well, a siding and then sort of a well, yeah, I suppose it's another siding really, but probably a technical term for it that I don't know, that joins back again on the track. And you can see we've got a couple of very old Hornby box vans in here. Kellogg's, McVitie's, Kit Kat, Weetabix, the usual. Can't beat a bit of Weetabix though, to be fair. Yeah, I'm always a collector of the little advertisement box vans. They're always very nice. So anyway, we follow it round a bit more into the night time. Oh dear, that really isn't good. But basically, there is going to be a town once I've got a bit of light on the situation. I'll come back to that later. Here though, we've got the most important part in some people's opinions. We've got the station. So it's now 4 platforms. We've got the 2 main lines there, the DC line on the near side, and then a bay platform coming out of the middle loop here, with a Train Tech buffer light there. So it just clips onto the track and is powered by that. Only a £5. Highly recommend them. I need to get more. They are very good, very realistic, and the camera doesn't really show that, but Yeah, it is very good, trust me. There we go, a bit more focus. Oh, my shadow. You can see that we haven't actually got a platform 1 at the moment, just the 2 ends. That will be put in shortly. We are in the process of building a scale scenes platform, which will be here and on the near side as well. The middle one is going to stay Hornby because I need the curve. This near one will come all the way out here, so it's got a bit more to go, and it should take a 4-car train comfortably, as should the outer one. And the middle one should just about take 4-car as well, but certainly 3. The bay platform here, however, will only take a 2-car train. It's worth pointing out, but as you will find out later on, that is actually going to be perfect for some of my newer stock. And then coming round here onto the final side of the layout, this will be the fiddle yard. You can see the DC bit again is already complete. Even if you might not be able to see it actually because it's horrific lighting. But you've got 2 signings there, one with the HST and one with the LMS 040 and a bunch of open wagons. The points, it's just worth pointing out, didn't even mean to do that. Anyway, it's just worth noting that the points are, would require those little clip things. You know, them. Just some on that one, don't know if you can see it, but the little clips that go in there. So the point is not powered in the other direction. So for example, that one's currently only giving power to the outer siding. So if I change that, the power's now going to the HST, which allows me to, because it's DC, it allows me to power one siding at a time whilst keeping the other one unpowered and the train stationary. The outer bit, the DCC section, as you can see, I haven't started on yet because I need to buy a bit of track. But those tankers show the curve coming from there. Yep, we're back here again. Round there, follow the tankers to that crossover, and then they'll go down there. We're also going to have some little sidings here, which is depicted by these wagons. So it comes out where the breakdown crane is, down to the Tartan Arrow train. Then you got a siding coming down to the Mirko tanker, another one where that mineral wagon is, and then the final one where those open wagons are. So I will just show you the track plan momentarily, so that you can have a look properly without having to try and follow my abysmal attempt at explaining it. Right, yes, here we go. So this is the track plan. So you've got the station at this end, that's the station end. Then you've got the goods yard with the goods shed there, so that's like where it's night time. And then you're gonna have the town there. And here is the fiddle yard. So you can see here you've got the 2 DC lines. That's a potential one coming out of the end of that, but it might not work because it's DC. I'm still thinking about that. Then you've got the 3 main lines. Then here comes out there, follow it around there. There's the crossover I was talking about. So you've then got 2 lines coming down here into a engine shed, sort of engine shed. So that's going to be a scenic section, whereas the rest of it is going to be non-scenic. And you can see that we're going to have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 sidings next to each other there, and the bit at the end. So if you do want to pause it and have a look, then now is your opportunity. So you can see I've written on there how many carriages you'll get into each siding. The 6-car siding there is going to be for the train we're going to look at in the next video, which hopefully will be uploaded very, very shortly. So you can see it's going to be a decent sized fiddle yard. You'll get a fair bit of stock in there, big and small. And then for engines that won't fit in there with the train, they can just go into the engine shed. And goods trains will be based primarily in the 3 sidings of the goods yard here, which are quite long, as you can see. Most of them fit in at least 5 car. The platform, the station is complete in terms of track. It's just the platforms themselves that we need. This side is pretty boring. That's just going to be scenery. So we've already talked through what's going in each place over there. And that is pretty much all there is to report for now. Hopefully we will have some more scenery done in the near future and the layout will start to look a bit more interesting. One of the first jobs I would like to get done is the ballasting and point motors. So I want to get the track sorted before I start moving on to the scenery, as I'm sure everyone does. And hopefully that will be done sort of maybe by the end of the year, because it's quite a big layout, so it'll take me a while. I'm not going to ballast the fiddle yard, because, well, you know, you don't usually ballast a fiddle yard, but also that's a lot of track and a lot of ballast you're going to have to buy at £8 a tub. So that will not be ballasted, but the rest, station, goods yard, the boring side, all that will be ballasted. Ballasted nicely as well. You can see in this corner I have started to ballast sort of as a test, because last time I tried it, it was pretty useless. So hopefully we can do a better job this time. I don't have an awful lot of hope, but you know, let's just believe. And that is pretty much, as I say, all there is to report for the moment. Yeah, other than that, you can see that the station scenery is coming on quite nicely. Got a signal box, shelters, and then Metcalf kit. Quite proud of that. WH Smith. Like I don't know what it's selling. It looks like an apothecary's, to be honest, but oh well, it'll do. And then you've got good old Bob on his footbridge, eating through terrain. Yeah, I've got a couple of passengers. I've not glued them down. I'm just using the ones that'll stand up. She's a bit drunk. We'll get there eventually. In the meantime, I will show you the latest little 040 I have purchased. As promised, the latest little 040. This is the 2014 Hornby Collectors Club model that Hattons was selling for 26 quid because he didn't sell them all in 2014. Bought this a couple of months ago, so it's relatively new. Brand new off the shelf, of course. Number 56011 in BR Black, early emblem. Runs quite nicely, better speed control than some of the other ones. If you remember, they weren't particularly slow. It's also the only one I've got to actually have a red buffer beam, which most locomotives do tend to have, but the 040 is apparently less so. Other than that, there's not an awful lot extra to say, except I've fitted the little footplate crew in there. I don't know if you can see them. And yeah, she's generally better at running than some of the others, particularly if you remember back to the LMS one and the Highland Railways blue one, which were ridiculously fast and yeah, tend to go flying off at the corners. This one, however, is much more controlled, much more gentle, and runs quite nicely, which I shall demonstrate now. So you can see that she's handling this rather long train very nicely indeed. Fair bit of noise, let's all be honest, but she is at least running slowly, well, considering she's a pocket rocket and with decent strength.